Welcome, everyone. Today we're going to talk about something very real, something that has shaken the world. This story is about the devastating wildfire in Los Angeles, California, that has destroyed homes, forced people to flee, and left scars on the city. This is not just a story, it's an opportunity for you to improve your English. As you listen, you'll practice understanding, learn new ways to describe events, and become more confident in your language skills. Imagine this. You're in sunny California, a place known for its beauty, celebrities, and glamour. But suddenly the skies turn gray, smoke fills the air, and flames rise higher than buildings. It's a scene straight out of a disaster movie, but it's happening in real life. Let's start from the beginning and uncover what's happening in California. On January 10th, 2025, the people of Los Angeles were going about their daily lives. The sun was shining, the weather was dry, and there was a gentle breeze. But what seemed like an ordinary day quickly turned into a nightmare. A small spark ignited in a dry, grassy area near the hills outside Los Angeles. Experts believe the fire started because of a fallen power line. The wires hit the ground, created sparks, and within minutes, the flames began to spread. California had already been facing severe droughts. The land was so dry that it became like fuel for the fire. The wind, known as the Santa Ana winds, blew strongly, pushing the flames faster and farther. By the evening, the wildfire had spread to nearby neighborhoods. Houses made of wood caught fire easily. Families grabbed what they could, important papers, photos, pets, and ran for their lives. The fire moved so quickly that by the next day it had burned over 2,300 structures, including homes, schools, and shops. Entire streets were destroyed. More than 180,000 people had to evacuate their homes, which means they had to leave to stay safe. Can you imagine leaving everything behind, not knowing if your house will still be there when you return? Emergency shelters were set up for families who had nowhere else to go. Over 20,000 people were under evacuation warnings, waiting to see if they would also have to flee. The fire didn't just destroy homes, it also burned trees, roads, and other parts of the city. It was like the fire was taking away everything in its way. The wildfire didn't just affect ordinary people. Some of the most expensive homes in Los Angeles, owned by celebrities, were destroyed. Famous neighborhoods like Beverly Hills and Malibu were covered in smoke. Many celebrities had to leave their homes too, proving that disasters like this don't care about money or fame. Thousands of firefighters worked day and night to stop the flames. These brave men and women faced temperatures so high that their equipment melted. They used airplanes to drop water and special chemicals on the fire. But the winds made it almost impossible to control. Firefighters said the wildfire was one of the largest they had ever seen. The flames were so strong that they jumped from one hill to another, destroying everything in their path. You might wonder, isn't it winter in January? Why is there a fire? Normally, wildfires happen in the summer, but California's weather has changed because of climate change. Winters are now hotter and drier than before. This makes the land perfect for wildfires even during a time when fires were rare in the past. In 2024, the Earth experienced its hottest year ever. The temperature was higher than ever before in history. This means the planet is getting warmer and it's causing big problems like wildfires in California. The hotter it gets, the more dangerous the fires become. This warming is happening because of greenhouse gases. These gases trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere. The main gases are carbon dioxide, CO2, methane, CH4, and nitrous oxide, N2O. They come from things like burning fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas, deforestation, cutting down trees, and factories. This makes the Earth's temperature rise. This is called global warming. California is getting hotter and drier because of global warming. Warmer temperatures cause more water to evaporate, which makes the land drier. Dry land, plants, and trees are like fuel for fires, so when there's a spark, it can start a fire that spreads quickly. Also, because of climate change, California has been getting less rain. With less rain, the land stays even drier. This is why wildfires have become worse. It's like the perfect storm for fires. Dry land, hot temperatures, and strong winds all come together to make wildfires more intense. The fires burned 50,000 acres of land, which is a huge area. 16,000 homes and buildings were destroyed. It was so bad that 28 people lost their lives because of the fires. People lost everything: homes, belongings, and sometimes even loved ones. It was a disaster for many people and animals in California. How can we fix this? To stop these fires from getting worse, we need to fight climate change. This means we should use less fossil fuels and switch to clean energy like solar power and wind power. We also need to protect the forests and plant more trees. Trees help absorb carbon dioxide and can prevent fires from spreading as quickly. Another way to fight fires is to manage the land better. Firefighters use controlled burns to reduce the amount of dry plants that can catch fire. This helps stop big wildfires before they start. People also need to prepare better. This includes making sure homes are safe, having emergency plans, and building fire-resistant homes. By taking these steps, we can reduce the damage of future fires. By understanding how global warming, greenhouse gases, and climate change are linked to wildfires, we can better prepare for the future. We all have a role in reducing the risks by helping the environment and taking steps to protect ourselves. Peter Kalmus is a climate scientist. He works at NASA's Jet Laboratory Propulsion, JPL, and studies climate change, specifically how our planet is warming. Kalmus is known for speaking out about the dangers of climate change, especially the rising frequency of extreme weather events like wildfires. He believes that the wildfires in California and around the world are linked to the changing climate. He believes that we need to invest in renewable energy like solar and wind and move away from fossil fuels to reduce the impact of climate change. Kalmus has talked about how important it is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to slow down global warming. He argues that we have to change the way we live, from how we get energy to how we use resources, in order to prevent even worse natural disasters in the future. Without action, we will see even bigger wildfires, more heat waves, and worse impacts on our health and the environment. California's wildfires have affected thousands of people. Homes have been destroyed, lives lost, and families forced to flee for their lives. It's not just the destruction caused by the fires themselves, but also the health effects. The smoke from wildfires can cause breathing problems, especially for people with asthma or other lung conditions. In 2020, more than 4 million acres of land were burned in California alone, which was the largest area in the state's history. In 2021, California saw more than 2,000 wildfires, which burned over 2.5 million acres. Thousands of homes were lost, and many people had to evacuate their homes. The state spent billions of dollars fighting the fires, but the damage was enormous. In California, wildfires are still a major crisis. These fires are burning across large areas, and the threat to life and property is huge. The fires are still growing, with 20,000 people still under evacuation warnings. The wildfires in California are caused by a combination of factors. First, the state has been experiencing a severe drought, which means there's not enough water to keep plants healthy. When plants are dry, they can catch fire much more easily. Experts agree that climate change is making the situation worse. The world's temperatures are rising because of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, and that makes heat waves and droughts more extreme. Scientists believe that if we don't take action to stop climate change, these kinds of disasters will become more common in the future. Wealthy individuals and large companies continue to profit from practices that harm the environment, causing the planet to heat up. While people like him fight for change, there are billionaires who continue to ignore the dangers and continue practices that hurt the planet. The road to recovery. The fire may not be over, but California will begin to rebuild once it's safe. After wildfires, it can take years for the affected areas to fully recover. Many trees, plants, and wildlife have been lost, and the land needs time to heal. The scars of the fire will remain for a long time. But in times of disaster, people come together. The world has already started to send aid to California, and communities are working hard to support the affected people. This crisis has reminded us all how important it is to support each other in times of need. Though California is in the middle of this crisis, there is hope. The fires remind us of the urgent need to act now to prevent more wildfires in the future. We must take climate change seriously and work together to protect our planet. This is not just a California problem, it's a global issue that affects us all. As we look to the future, let's pray for those who are suffering right now. Let's remember that while this is a devastating tragedy, it's also a chance for all of us to make a change. Let's protect the planet and ensure a better future for the next generation.